Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We are having a wonderful day today. We are going to do something different today, a little bit different. You know, I like to do some artsy things. So, today we are in an event with the Junk Journaling Jamboree. So, that's always a fun thing to do. We're going to do a little bit of something different, but I promise you, it's it's going to be a fun, different way to do some paper crafting. So, Junk Journaling Jamboree, we do a whole lot of paper crafting, you guys. And it's not just about junk journals. So, if you ever want to, come on over to that Facebook group, we always have a lot of fun. And today is no different. Today, our event is Paper Pals. And so our Paper Pals event, we always throw in something to the mix. Each time, one of the presenters gets to select a secret element, and then everybody else has to incorporate that element into what they're doing. So it's always fun. Everybody guesses the whole time, and we have a lot of fun. Hi, Cindy, Sue, Donna, Linda, Susan. Hey, you guys, thanks for being here. So yeah, if you're on, go ahead and come on in and say hello, because without seeing comments and stuff, what would be fun about this, right? We'd like to have a lot of fun in these groups and create. It's just always so much fun when you get together and create, right? There's Bev. She was just on. Hi, Molly. Carol, Stephanie, Phyllis, Capri. Listen, I tell you what, it is, we've just got a great lineup. As always, we always have such a great lineup. Now, following me, Bev was just on with Bev's Creating with Love and Whimsy. And she always does the most wonderful things. And then Shonna is going to be on after me. She is Fraps and Scraps. And I tell you, she is an artsy gal, and she really has some great product knowledge too about so many of the things that we like to use. So anyway, hey Debbie, Deborah, Christina, Wendy. Oh my goodness, everybody is coming on in. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Hey, there's Jimmy Lou, the Messy Craft Corner, Veronica, Diane. Oh, we got all kinds of people. Okay, listen. We need to go ahead and get started because I'm afraid this might, take a beat. This is what I'm going to use for my paper, you guys. I am using this Canson mixed media paper. It's just in one of these spiral bound books. These are 9 by 12 and it's 98 pounds. So 98 pounds is a nice weight to be able to, do something on. The reason I'm using this today is I'm going to put a little bit of paint on, and you may have got an indication of that already. I've got something out here to put paint on. I think you can see my water. I think you can even see some of my little paint bottles over to the side. So we are just going to get some color down on a piece of paper, and I'm going to use paint today. You could easily do watercolors. You could do inks. You could ink it up. Inks would be easy to blend too. Hi Dina, hi Lisa. So yeah, and Dina and Lisa are going to be on in a little bit. I don't know if anybody else came on. Yeah, Messy Craft Corner, she's going to be on. So you guys, if you see any of the pages and you don't know who they are, be sure to, check them out at some point, because you might just find your next favorite crafter, right? And I don't mind if people come on as their pages. I'm going to pull off a little bit of paper towel here. So we are going to get going. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint here. And this is what I like to do. This is actually one of those heavier disposable plates, but I don't like just throwing stuff in the trash all the time, you guys. And this is just a piece of that press and seal, and I just like to put some of that on, and then when this gets so dirty and I can't figure out what color of paint I'm using, then I just take it off, wad it up and throw it away. And yes, that gives us some trash too, but You know, I'm afraid there's just not much way around having some trash, right? So when I was practicing this, and I did kind of a little sample, I did it, oh, I didn't use this one before. I just kind of finger painted it on. But you know, it took me so long to get it spread around on my paper that I came across with some kind of harsh lines. And I'll show you what I mean. I was just, you know, swiping. And so some of these places where we've got these hard breaks in the color, it didn't really work the way I wanted it to. I did go ahead and use it, but I just thought this time I am going to try and just brush it on, because I think I may get a lot quicker coverage by doing that, you know. So let's just start, and I'm just gonna brush this on, and I think as I do it, we will be able, oh yeah, that's going on so much better. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a lot of this down, and then I am just gonna pick up another color. I'm gonna use a little green. I'm gonna swipe that onto some places, and this way I'm not gonna get so, you know, such harsh lines, I think. Put a little bit of blue in here. Ooh, that kind of muddied that up. And, oh, that's kind of a pretty color there. So I gotta be careful. This time I want to be careful that I don't get any of those real harsh lines. And this made kind of a purple color here. I don't like that. So I'm just gonna go over it. And there I've got, and then I think I'll just take the brush, and if it looks like it's getting too dark, then I can just do that and give it a swipe. So far I think this is working out a little bit better. I'm always, you know, and I know you guys know this, a lot of times when I come on here to try something, you know, I've given it some thought, but I haven't done it. This I have done. We'll see how it turns out. There's still always, I'm always afraid I'm going to get on here and then somebody's going to say, oh my goodness, take her creator card away. What in the world was she thinking? But you know, don't we all have those moments when we're doing some, and I think even if I spread this out a little bit, now I might go back and put a little more bright color on. And yes, some of it looks a little messy. Ooh, look, that yellow and pink. That's kind of making a more of an orangey color. Now I tell you what, a color, some colors that work really well if you're gonna blend them in your ink or with like ink pads would be like a blue, a pink, and yellow, because those colors are close enough to, you know, what they consider the primary colors, although there's been some debate about that. And then that way, as you go through, those colors are going to mix. And I think I'm just going to tap in a little, you know, you can always go back, just kind of brush, but like I said, you're going to be happier if you don't have really harsh lines. Ooh, that's really bright. Just kind of give it a little brush stroke if it comes out too, you know, and you could even take your finger and just kind of, you know, pat along too. Take something and just make sure that you're not getting those super harsh lines. It doesn't even matter, even though you can see these brush strokes, it's going to be fine. And let's do a little bit more bright blue here. Okay. Phew. Let's see what's going on here. Let me check out some comments. Oh, we got lots of people coming on. It's always a good idea at the time. Right, Molly? Yep, that's the way it goes. Let's put a little bit more blue down in here. And you know, anything you want to use so you can kind of tap it around, or, you know, do something to where you don't have real harsh lines. I think you're going to be, you know, a little bit happier with it. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of, I don't know, I don't like that. Let me get some more brighter yellow. I'm afraid some of these have gotten kind of dull. I've kind of dulled them down, you guys. But it's okay. I'm still going to be able to show you the idea. Okay, let's see. This is really, let's put some more pink up here. You kind of want a lot of your colors spread out so that you can, for our next step, you'll see. Let's see, let's get another little bright color in here. And maybe, you know, maybe you could tap it. Maybe you could give it a little bit of texture as you go through. I do like this bright blue color. Let's dab some of that in. And that just made some mud. Well, it doesn't look so bad. I just looked up here on my monitor. That's not looking too bad. Let's get a little bit more bright blue in here. All right. Phew. You always think of the Ziploc commercial, yellow and blue make green. Exactly, right? Yeah, okay, so, you know, if you're using some paint, it's an easy way to swish it on here and get some color on, right? And so that was the goal. We wanted our color. And now I think what I want to do, let me wipe this off and let me just put some, you know, some brighter splotches of yellow through here and brighten up a little bit more of it. And I mean, it's going to be so random anyway. Okay, let's do it. Let's continue. So now another thing is try not to get any places too thick because you're going to have to, you know, let it dry before you go on. So I'm just going to use my heat tool here and dry it a little bit more so that, let me put this a little way over here so we don't have to listen to that so much. Oh, I think it's the color yellow. Oh, I'm like, what's the color yellow? Okay, got it. Okay, she's guessing already. You can press your paper towel into the paint for texture. Yes, you could do that. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Those little globs I put, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. It's still a little wet. We're going to be drawing on it next, you guys. Oh, that is, you know what? I am going to use your paper towel suggestion because I see some places that are going to take too long to dry. Yeah, and then you can just tap it around. I'm all about, I love tapping and getting some good texture going, right? Let's see. You guys, I love these days where everybody, you know, starts talking about whatever they think the secret element is. Hey there, Susan Turley. How are you doing? Well, did you see me get some paint out and you popped on? Oh my goodness. All right. I think I gotta make sure it's dry, you guys. And one other thing that you can do is turn your paper over and heat it from the back as well. And a lot of times if you're using your paper and it starts to buckle one way because it's got moisture on it, if you know, like, don't just heat from one side, heat from the back as well. If you heat from both sides, you're going to kind of, you know, help those fibers get back into the way they wanted to go. You guys, this looks so much prettier on what I'm seeing on the monitor, which I'm glad. You guys are having a better look at it. For me, some of them have kind of turned into a dusty color. Okay, now we're going to draw some flowers on. And our flowers, I've tried several pens today. I did come up with this, and you know, this is the thing. Don't be a craft supply hoarder and just buy things and then not use them. This is a Pigma Micron 5 is what it is. And this was kind of a nice little, it's got a nice tip. And this is, it says micro pigment ink for waterproof and fade proof fine lines. So I wanted something that was kind of a fine line because I wanted to draw with it. I've tried several things and several tips, and I was kind of about happier with this. You know what? Excuse me for one moment while I wipe some of this off. I'm just gonna, it's always easier if it's just recently been on your mat to get it off. You can get them off. You can get stuff off of these silicone mats real easy. Or it's kind of, I don't know if it's a silicone or something. It's a non-stick mat. And it's just easy if you're trying to get it off sooner than later. Same thing with your hands. Okay, all right. Moving on, let's get our pen and we're just gonna do. Now, I don't know how many of you like to doodle, how many of you are doodlers, how many of you like doodling art. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh, Capri says she ruined some paint tips using them on paint. Yeah, it's not totally dry. Yes, that's exactly true. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start out here and we're just going to take, we're going to do a center of a flower. What in the world? My computer's wanting to update. No, thanks. No, thank you right now. Oh, you guys, let me take my paint out of my, or my brush out of my water. It is not good to leave your brushes just sitting in water, you guys. So I've got that. It's kind of, I've taken a bunch of the paint out and it'll be fine until I get done. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to just, I'm just going to like draw a little circle, and I'm not going to worry about how, you know what, let me put this down some, you guys. There, that's as close as I can get it. So we're just going to take some, we're just going to do some random flower things. So I'm just going to do some little lines and dots and just have some fun. Just do some easy flowers. We're just going to loop these things around. If you need any ideas for things to fill in for, you know, any work that you do like that, and it doesn't have to be perfect, look at, go look at Zentangles, because Zentangles have lots of ideas for filling in places with you know, all kinds of, what do I want to say, design work. So we're just going to, you know, make some loosey-goosey flowers here, and then we'll just add some fun things in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, and my goodness, you will know by looking at me doing this, it does not have to be perfect. And maybe do an additional line up here, and as you fill in all this stuff with, you know, more lines and dots and just all the fun stuff, the more interesting it's going to be. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to do some things like this. Here's another little fun one. You can do your circle, okay, and then just kind of do this like you were going to do a heart, but don't dip in, just kind of give it a curve and then come back down. And sometimes we think about these things that we need to do them in uneven numbers, but that's not what I'm going to do on this one. And then just like I said, it doesn't have, well, I kind of got carried away with my heart shape there. That's okay. Just kind of a little gentle dip. And then just kind of go behind and do another one. You just don't have to be perfect. They just make some fun flowers out of them, right? Now this one, this was goofy. I got those too close, but it's okay. It's gonna work out just fine. And maybe, well, and that kind of cut too close. Well, that's a shame. Oh well, it'll be fine. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just add one more line here. Kind of bridge it over. Like there's another petal in the background. How about that? And then these I'll just put you know, like some little, I want to call them pleat marks. They're not pleats in a flower. And let's see, what can we do here? Let's just put some little dots along here. It just doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, those are not really dots, man. Those are like shaky jitter things. I think I had too much coffee. And I know fraps and scraps. Fraps and scraps. Shonna, do you ever feel like you had too much coffee? How much coffee do you drink a day, girlfriend? And you could come back and, you know, if you want to do another little line behind, you could do that. And just go kind of close. It's like the more lines you get, the more interesting your little flowers become. Right? Uh-oh, except I'm going to have, well, shoot. I'm going to have the same problem with this goofy area where I ran into this one. That's okay. Maybe it'll help it not look so odd. And I can kind of come around here. And just some sweet little lines everywhere. Phew. Okay. So, let me see. I don't know. This one needs something along here. It's so... Let me make these lines bigger. So it kind of... And then you can, you know, do some interesting things in here. You can do dots or you can do open circles. Whatever you want to do. Now, as you're doing these things, you know, you can also embellish these however you want to, right? You could, you know, take these and do whatever you like. All right. So, here's another kind. Now this is kind of a interesting, wonky one. Again, we'll do our flower center. And then I'm going to do some circles. Couple of circles. Oops, I didn't get those touching. That's okay. We're going to cut these out, you guys. And then like a smaller one. A couple of small ones. And then I'm going to put like a weird loopy thing up there. So here's my center. So I've got two big ones, two small ones, and a loop. So another big one, smaller, smaller loop. Okay? And if you want to, you know what, I'm going to do this so I can remember which one I'm counting off of. So I know which one it is. And it's just about, you know, drawing and having fun. And so we'll want to fill these in. And you can tell I'm not even making perfect circles, and it's fine. It's going to work out just fine. Okay, I got to stop in a second and look and see what's going on. And they don't even have to be even. It's only 10 a.m. for Shonna. Her day of coffee is just beginning. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is going on up here? I gotta come back. We're talking about, okay, Bev says she loves to doodle. And, yep, and she says she has ruined some pin nibs. Yes, haven't we all? Stephanie says she does Zentangles with Lisa in our Art Wellness Collaborative every Sunday. That sounds fun. Yes, you could definitely do it with a watercolor. I'm not so much about soft colors, though. Let's do one more, and then we're going to fill these in with a little bit of decorative work. Okay, so let's just do some interesting things here. And then we'll just kind of repeat them. All the way around. Let's see, I gotta see what time it is. So, you can see, you know, now you're probably looking at these like think, oops, I'm clear off. You're probably looking at those like, what in the world would you do with that? That doesn't look like a flower at all. And no, it doesn't really, but I'll show you what we're going to do with those. Don't worry, I have a plan. Oh, look, if I do them, oops, if I do them clear across like this, I'm not so apt to forget what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So you can see, and you can just keep, you know, developing your flowers like that. And so then what you're going to do is you're just going to cut them out. And you can, you know, cut them and layer them. And I'm just going to cut this one out here. Now, you know, once you get them cut, I'm going to just cut some of this out, and then I'm going to use my small scissors. I'm just going to get it close. And I don't want to cut too many, you know, chunks out that I don't need, because I could always come back if I need to and make some smaller flowers or, you know, whatever. But I want to see how these are looking. And, you know, shoot, look here, I've got some of those that I was trying to avoid this time and keep from having some of those harsh lines. I really think, you guys, you know, probably if you were going to ink and you're blending your ink, we all know how much easier it is probably to do some ink blending or watercolor. I have not really had a lot of luck with watercolor myself. And, but I think, you know, as far as blending and your colors coming together like that, you know, that might be the way to go. But I hope when I am finished with this, I hope that you will think, well, that wasn't so bad doing it that way. Hopefully. And I'm not too worried about even, I might, you know, cut away from the line a little and still leave some of the color showing outside of that line. I mostly want to make sure that my black line is showing, even if I've got a little bit of the outer color. But there, so there we've got, like, look at how it turns out like this. I still think I need, you know what, let's put little circles in here. That'll make it, fill it a little bit more. Like that. Okay. Now, what I might want to do is I might want to take this and I might want to go to make it another layer. I might want to lay it down here and then just kind of come close and just kind of mimic my edge around here, so that it's like we've got one more layer. And I don't know that I will be able to exactly match up this when I put it together, but we'll see. So there's all kinds of ways that you could, you know, add some dimension. I'm just going to use this to add a little more, another layer. And see how that works. So like I said, I'm not gonna fret about going too, you know, far out of the edge. I don't want to go too far. Yeah, Bev, I'm with you. I did not know that Lisa was doing that on Sundays. Honestly, weekends are not the best time for me to do things around here. Everybody is here, and there's no telling what kind of chaos can ensue at any moment. Although you would think with the ages of people here that that would not be true, but there's no telling. My granddaughter and her little boy could, be here. You just never know. And that's all I'll say about it. You never know. And that's fine. I'm glad they live close enough that they can, come over on the weekends. She works all week and, gets him back and forth to school. And so the weekend is kind of her time to have a moment. Okay, so now let's see. There, it looks like that was like that. Now what we could do, okay, so that gives you another little layer. And I think instead of just, putting that down with just gluing it down or something, I like to use some kind of, fastener in the center. I got these little flower ones. I think these are adorable. And since we're doing flowers, why not, right? Simple. Let's get one that's brighter than that. Let's use that one for now. Okay, so let me get a pokey tool here. That is not a good one. I've got some that, this one kind of has like a little burr on the end, and I'm not talking about cold. I'm talking about, a little burr on the end. Oh my goodness. Got it tangled over here. So even though this is a weird shape, it'll still work. So I'm just going to put this here. I'm just going to poke a little hole in the center. And I should have had, oh, that'll work. And then I can just poke this through. Maybe. I didn't get it. Oh my goodness. I am like bending the little legs on this guy. Okay. Wow. That was kind of a fail. I don't know what his problem is there. Let me pull that down. Okay, so now this paper, and you can kind of, lift it up, and then you've got a little bit of dimension. And it doesn't matter if it matches that same, thing or not. You could twist it around a little and still have, although I do like it matched up. What do you guys think? You like it matched up? Circles for the secret ingredient. Yes. Diane guesses Brad's. Interesting. Oh, so did Pat. Yeah, I use Brad's a lot though, you guys. I'm always making something and holding them together like this. So you never know. You like it twisted, right? Okay, so I'm going to put these here so that they don't get lost. Okay, so now then what we're going to do is I've got some that I've already cut out from the other thing I made, you guys, because it could take us forever to cut those out. And you're probably late, and I wanted to do something that was more like a project today. We're going to make a little card. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card, and since we've doodled so much around here, I am going to just kind of do some doodle line work around the card. Okay, so the edge. So this is just a plain white card, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to do I'm not going to try to go straight. I'm just going to, kind of intentionally give it some little wavy things. And this is probably less than 1/4 of an inch away. So I'm just going to kind of wave it back and forth and go all the way around my card. And then I'm going to do it again, because if you do it twice, we've talked about this before, if you do it twice, it looks more like it was intentional. All of a sudden it's like, oh, it doesn't look like though, like she was too, like she had too much coffee. All of a sudden it looks like it's a little bit more intentional. We're just going to go all the way around. And now I don't have to cut out another piece of cardstock to mat it or anything. It's going to just give us a little bit of, you know, consistency across our card. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got our card. Let me move this down. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to layer some of these together. Now I've got, now these, okay, so here was this one. And I could probably even use it with these. I mean, it's got some of the same colors in it. I don't know how that would look. Now these, I did not mimic these around the flower so much. And I don't even know which flower that went to, actually. I just kind of did a wavy thing around it. Oh my goodness. Okay, that must be this one. So we've got that one. Maybe this one. And then oh. Okay. Now, let me grab something to make it easier to poke my hole. Phew! Scritchy scratches, right? Okay. Doodling is a secret ingredient. You guys have to watch all day and see what everybody does so you can have a good idea. Let me see. I think I got a better pokey tool in here. It has lost its little top. You guys, if you lose the top to any of your sharp objects like these pokey tool things, if you will take like a mechanical, like a pencil eraser, just take a pencil eraser and you can easily just stick that on the tip and it'll kind of keep you safe. It'll keep it from getting poked. And I'm just going to poke that in there. And while that's sitting there, I might try to just put this in here. Oh, these little things are so tiny. So tiny and putsy to play with, right? Okay, so I like putting some of these together. Let's put this one in. I'm not even going to worry. Flowers aren't all the same. I'm not even going to worry that they have the same center. And some of these are more doodly and messed up than others, you guys. I just didn't worry about it. And I kind of wish I would have, I'd have used just black ones in here in the centers. That might have looked better since we did all the black line work. But it gives it a little bit of something, something, right? I mean, you don't want everything all the same. Well, that one's shiny. Where's the other one? Here it is. And just poke this through. Okay. I don't know. I almost feel like I should put, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and also put one in the centers of these. Even though they're not holding anything together, it'll give them a more consistent look with all of it, right? Stephanie says she's still going with yellow. I tell you, after you watch everybody all day, it's like, can you even remember what everybody did and what they used? I'm glad you guys guess as we go along. It's probably a good plan. Okay. You know what? I should probably use another silvery one, or that one's going to look odd out there by itself. Okay, so just pop these open. We only got 5 minutes. Okay, now the long thing with the crazy little legs, this is what I've done with it. I actually cut it apart. So now, oh, here was one more. Oh, you know what? Shoot, I think this one was supposed to be on here because this was such a weird color. I'm going to take this off. And put it back on. But this one, I just wanted it to have some more of the other colors because it just, it didn't blend very good with everybody else. It didn't look like he wanted to play at the same playground. So now, oh my goodness. All right, there we go. So now I cut these guys off and we're gonna use them instead of like leaves. Oh, now I've got a really nice big one here, but that might be overkill. And then we can just layer these up like this. Stack them on top of each other. Do whatever you want. Now, the one thing while I was playing around with these before, you guys, is they have so much give, it's kind of hard to get them down anywhere. Now, this makes too many. That makes too many. So, I think what I want to do is I want it to kind of, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's start sticking some down. Where's my glue? I'm just going to put it kind of in the center. And we'll just kind of layer it here. I mean my glue. I'm just putting my glue in the center. And I don't know, actually I wanted to be able to kind of decide where my colors were going to look best because your colors are all over the place. I do want these to be down here though. Okay. And then we're just going to use these guys and layer them up. And then, so these are going to be more like leaves. Isn't that crazy? And then you can either stamp a sentiment, or you could even just write like happy birthday or whatever you would want to write on there, right? Brads or gems. Okay. All right, so here I'm not going to have time to completely finish it up. I'm going to get it adhered down here though, and I haven't decided if I'm going to try my hand at just writing it, or you know what, one fun thing about doing things like this and doing the bulk of your card is the fact that then you can save it, and then if you have a birthday or congratulations or whatever, then you can just easily add your little thing right there. And so now see, this one needs trimmed too because that's just too much. And I've got to strategically decide where these guys are going to go. But anyway, I hope that gives you an idea of where we're going with that. And I hope you like that, you guys. What do you think of this? You think you would ever color some paper and doodle some flowers and do this? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think about that. This one, and you know what? I'm still playing around with getting my colors kind of more balanced with what's going on here. And that's the thing. I mean, flowers are all different, but we do kind of like to arrange them so that they're pleasing to the eye, right? So I'm going to mess around here with this until I get my final plan as to where to stick them down there. Stephanie says she would totally do it. Phyllis says yes, she likes it. Yeah, you guys, thank you so much. And so next is going to be Shonna up with Fraps and Scraps, so I can hardly see what she does. And Carol's guessing flowers. I can hardly wait to see what Shonna does, and I wonder if I'll be able to figure out the secret element. You guys, I have to tell you, I had a plan for this, and all of a sudden, we were almost ready to start, and I'm like, wait, I forgot about the secret element. So I've added it though, and now you have to guess what it is. You guys take care. I'll be live again tomorrow. You can check my page. You guys, thanks so much, and let's go over and watch Shonna. Bye-bye.